So our third lightning round session in Big Talk from Small Libraries 2025 is from Caitlin Henry, who is Assistant Director at our Ashland Public Library here in Ashland, Nebraska. Population served 3,100, and she's going to talk about partnering with the local school.
Thank you so much.
Ashland, yeah. So tell us all about how you're doing that, Caitlin.
Yeah, so we are excited to share today about partnering with local schools to boost public library engagement. I am very much coming at this from a public library standpoint, and I know that we just had a media specialist present, so I know that there are a lot of you that are maybe on the other side of this. So my presentation is going to be kind of selfish in ways that we have really benefited from these relationships, but I am excited to share more. All right, so a partnership between a public library and a school can serve the best interests of both institutions. We really see this here because after we engage with our local school, we see more kids in the library, we see more people getting library cards, more participation at our programs, all of that good stuff. And one of the best ways that we do that is by spreading the word about our library programs and services through the school. A lot of us use social media or our websites to promote our programs, which is great, but that gets us an adult audience. And specifically, it's an adult audience that is already looking at our website, already interested in what we're doing. And by partnering with these schools, we are able to get information directly to students and to their parents. So it really increases our audience for spreading the word about our programs and services. This has also created really cool programming opportunities for us, opportunities for us to do programs directly in the school. It increases our programming numbers and just gets us into the community. So our director, Tanya, and our children's services librarian, Heather, are both really great too. And so you'll see all three of us engaging in these library programs and services. As we're looking at building these partnerships, though, we also want to think about what is the benefit for the school, because we never want these partnerships to be one-sided. Schools are definitely interested in their children continuing to read and learn, especially during school breaks. Enter summer reading programs. So if nothing else, it's pretty easy to get your local school to agree to promote those summer reading programs, just like the media specialist that just chatted said that she shares that information with her students right before break. Schools are really interested in their kids participating in our programs. A good partnership also allows us to share resources. I'm not going to go into that a ton. I'll touch on it a little bit later on, but it's really cool when we can share books or if we have resources that the school doesn't, that we are able to share. Okay, what can these partnerships look like? The cool thing and also the scary thing is the answer is almost anything you want. So we have spent years, so prior to me coming, our current administration and the people before have worked really hard on these partnerships. And so I'm going to share things that we are currently doing, but I do want to say that not all of this happens at once. So on my first slide here, I want to start with some simple and easy things. I know that lots of us in small libraries, we don't have extra time, we don't have a lot of extra budget. And so asking you to go into the schools and do some of these things might be too much. However, almost all of us can do a submission in a school newsletter. These are super easy for us as librarians. We can send a simple email and whoever at the school is going to do that can just copy and paste it into their pre-existing format. It is super easy and is something that is almost hard for them to say no to, which is awesome when we're trying to build these partnerships. If we want to take it to the next level, another easy thing that we can do is dropping off bookmarks or handouts for distribution. These work really well. I have an example here on the slide. This was a summer reading bookmark that we did, and on one side we have a little info about the actual reading part of the program, and on the other we list the cool events for those age groups. Being able to drop these off is really great, especially if we as librarians can go into the classroom and talk to those students, or if the teachers are willing to talk to the students. Getting them excited about it, making them want to run home and show their parents definitely helps us out as far as spreading the word about these programs. Neither one of these things takes a ton of time or out of library time or budget in order to accomplish. A few other simple, easy things that we've been able to do is some book sharings with classrooms. So we are able to send some books into the classroom that they can either read in class or their teachers can check out to them, and just supplementing that library at the school and seeing if there are things that the school is interested in that we can share with them. Another really effective thing that we have done is reading in the classrooms. So every Tuesday, either I or Heather will go, and teachers can sign up for one of two 15-minute time slots. During these times, we bring in usually new books, and we read to the kids. And just like Amanda and Lisa talked about way back in their presentation first thing this morning, we are kind of rock stars. These kids love being able to recognize us at the school or coming into the library later. They are so excited to tell their parents, we need to check out this book because they read it to us in the school, or hey, that's the lady that comes to the library. It has been really cool for getting our faces out there, our names out there, and just connecting with those students and those teachers. Another easy thing that you can ask about with your school is if there would be a space for you to do a booth or a table at a back to school night. These are really easy for the school. All they have to give you is the space. And here you can talk about library cards and who is eligible. You can get people signed up for library cards. You can also tell them about any after school programs, weekend programs, summer reading, anything like that. It is a great time to be able to share directly with students and their parents. Okay, this is where it gets fun, and this is some of the things that we really enjoy doing. So since we started earlier on, we have been able to actually go into the school, and we have the time and we have the staffing to be able to do this, which is really cool. They like us to come and help with reading incentive parties or activities. So recently, one of the reading specialists contacted us to see if we could help with a reward afternoon for kids who had met their reading goals. So Heather was able to go, and in one of my pictures, you can see she did a picture book bingo with the kids. So this was a bingo cards that we made ourselves. The markers are just cardstock, and she took leftover summer reading prizes as prizes for the kids. And they just loved being able to do something new and something different, and that was a really fun way for us to engage with the school. Another thing that we like to utilize is the Nebraska Library Commission in our state has tech kits that they will lend us for free. So we like to borrow these tech kits. There are things like snap circuits or robots, all sorts of cool tech. So we love to be able to borrow those and then take them directly into the classrooms. So we learned that the fourth graders here at our schools do a lesson on electricity. So we were able to get snap circuits that we take into the classrooms following those lessons, and we give them hands-on experience being able to use those. And they have asked us if we can go ahead and plan to come back next year, and we've been doing this the last couple of years. It's a great opportunity for the teachers to kind of take a little break and get to engage with their students without having to teach another thing. And that hands-on experience is so cool. So if you are not in Nebraska, I recommend searching to see if maybe there's something similar in your state where you could borrow some of these tech kits and take them directly into the classes. We also do things like a 6th grade book club. I took this over once. This had been done previous to me, but I've taken it over, and I get to go hang out with 6th graders over their lunch break in the middle school. And we provide the books and we give them little tasks, and it's a really fun way to connect, especially with those teens, because as we all know, it's kind of hard to get them into our library. So if we can make those connections, it's really exciting and important. And on top of that, there are just other special events throughout the year, and I will try to speed through so we can get to the next person. But there's lots of fun opportunities once you kind of get in there for things that you can go to the school and offer. All right, another cool thing that we have, and I know that this is unique in our area, one of our school buildings is just a couple of blocks away. And up until a few years ago, it housed the entire K-5 population. And during that time, administration allowed teachers and students to walk down to do field trips in April. So this is a picture of me presenting to some kids, but I tell them all about the summer library, their summer reading program, what that looks like, what prizes they can win, the different activities and programs that they can do, and we send home bookmarks. This is a really fun opportunity for the kids to take a tour of the library, see where they might come, and we have a ton of families that come in after these visits to sign up for new library cards or learn more. This is also expanded and we have been able to host the freshman and junior classes with their English teachers, and they bring them down and we do a scavenger hunt to teach them about research, some of the databases that are available here that might not be available at their school, and other resources that the library can offer. Okay, a lot of you may already have a relationship with your school, and I hope that you have found some way that maybe you can take that to the next level. If you are interested in getting started, I have kind of 4 quick, easy steps. So step 1 is make a connection. This could be with a principal, an administrator, a media specialist, a reading specialist, a teacher. Just find somebody that you know that is in that system and start asking questions. As you're building this partnership, it's really important to start by asking how you can help them. It's all well and good to go in and ask for a favor, but it's even better if we can offer something kind of upfront. When you do start asking for a favor, I recommend that you start small. Like I said, a submission in a newsletter or handing out bookmarks is going to be a quick and easy thing that doesn't require much from them. Like they're not having to do a lot of organizing or a lot of emailing. It's a quick and simple thing. And once you kind of get started, then you can start doing more things. And then my last recommendation is to say yes when you can. We get to do so many cool things with our school. And some of those are because we have reached out and offered, but so many more are because they have come back to us and asked if we would be willing. I recently did a wellness night at the school where I was able to help one of the teachers with her room. That party that I told you about where Heather went and played bingo, that was also the school asking us the best way that, and for some ways that they needed some assistance from us. And so anytime we're able to, we love to be able to do that. And that just strengthens our relationship and makes things easier in the future. So to summarize, partnerships between public libraries and local schools allow us as libraries to better know and serve our communities. So thank you so much for your time.
Awesome. Thank you, Caitlin. We do have some questions, so you can keep that slide up there to give people that information. That's great. You're doing awesome things with your school. I don't think it was selfish at all. It was awesome just to see, schools want to see how their things are benefiting the library, I'm sure. Someone does want to know, if anybody has any other questions, get them typed in. We'll ask a couple of questions of Caitlin. Someone wants to know, how do you count and track this outreach and collaborative program statistically?
That is a great question. We keep track. We have a calendar that also keeps track of things for us, but we do notate like what events are inside the library versus outside of the library, and we need to do that for our library report. But we do count how many students at each event, and we're able to use those with our programming numbers and counting things as programs like for our library report.
And someone wants to know, do you share this, and else wants to know, do you share this with the school then as well, so they know what's been done from the library?
That is a great question. I'm sure if they ever ask, we would be more than happy to share that information. I don't know that they've ever asked, but I'll have to check in with my director.
See if they want to know. All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you so much, Caitlin. That was great.